Jimmie Fails, no doubt, loves the city of San Francisco. The young actor who grew up in the Fillmore district has a story so powerful, he brought it to the big screen. As Vern Glenn tells us, it is a love letter to home.
Glenn, Jimmie Fails turned 27 this week. His star is still rising. One thing can't be disputed, the San Francisco native has never forgotten where he came from. Much of him first appeared on the big screen. And for that, we got to go back to 2019. The film is The Last Black Man in San Francisco, a Joe Talbot-directed project, partially based on the life of his childhood friend, Jimmie Fails. It follows Fails' character's journey to reclaim his childhood home his family could no longer afford. That effect on family and his best friend, played by Jonathan Majors, is the foundation of the film, a poetic portrayal of a changing city. Danny Glover is in the film as the blind grandfather of Fails' best friend. Glover reached out for the role.
Called me out of nowhere and was like, "Hey, this is Danny." And I was like, "Well, yeah, I mean, you got like one of the most iconic voices of all time. I think I know."
I was so moved by the story.
I hope I never made you feel like you weren't welcome here.
No, I never felt like that.
'Cause I don't care where you been. You don't have to tell me. It's just you two stick together.
I'm a native of San Francisco. I live in the same neighborhood that I've lived in since I'm 11 years old. My parents had an opportunity because they were postal workers, like a number of other African Americans, had an opportunity to purchase a home, you know, and so their children didn't have the same opportunity.
The movie debuted at the 2019 Sundance Film Festival, won many high honors. In the baseball vernacular, Fails' first acting role in the project hit a grand slam. And it struck a nerve in the Oval Office.
When Barack Obama, leader of the free world, comes out and says, "Man, that was one of the best movies of 2019," how does that hit you?
I mean, it was cool. I mean, he called me and told me. No, I'm just joking. He didn't call me. But
then I would have been really impressed. Well, he called you?
No, I mean, that was huge. I mean, a lot of people, I mean, you know, especially someone like Barack, but there's a lot of people that reached out, like artists that we like and directors and stuff. I mean, it's, you know, it's always good to get validation from your peers. You know what I mean? Especially being that we didn't expect it to be as impactful, I guess, as it was, you know, to hit people in that way. So that's, you know, that's your main goal when you're making a movie, is make people feel something. And if you can make them feel something, then, you know, you did your job.
He didn't stop there. Value Culture, a nonprofit, and SF Heritage partnered to fund Fails' participation in Heritage's Artist and Residency program at the historic Doolin Larson building at the corner of Haight and Ashbury. What was it like when you moved in here?
I don't know, weird. It just felt unreal.
Did you have any expectations?
I didn't know what to expect. I just wanted to, you know, let it come organically, sort of, you know.
2 months, he wrote stories. He wrote poetry. A lot of Fails' artwork is all over the Value Culture exhibit at 1506 Haight Street. Fails collaborated with 7 city-based artists, compiled in this book called 7 by 7.
Any pressure come with that? You're in a
Absolutely.
situation where you're like, well, I got 2 months.
Yeah, well,
I better produce something.
Absolutely. I mean, and barely got this done on time. I also was like traveling for work and stuff too. Like I had the short film that I had to go do and then do press for that. So it was kind of like in and out, but you know, there was a little pressure, but you know, at the end of the day, I think that I just, being in this space was what helped to cultivate the creativity. And I think mostly the experience of just being there and the ideas that came from that and having that space to, again, work on my character. I think that was the best experience for me.
I guess for lack of a better way of saying it, your last name is Fails, but all I've seen is success.
One, my last name, I definitely got a chip on my shoulder because of that. So there's that. I also have a lot of, good people around me that believe in me and that help to push me because, sometimes you do get down on yourself, but you got to have people around you and you got to remember your main goal, which is just like, I just want to make art and tell stories that move people.
Fails' exhibit at Value Cultures is scheduled to end today. On film, Fails has 5 projects either released or in post-production. And if movies aren't your thing, this book, 7 by 7, would make a pretty good gift for the holiday season. Len?
Vern, thank you. Very nice story.